Good enough for me. Oh, Carter said someone's quitting. 2 people. Then she started. Do I know any of them? Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, cool singer, of course. Yeah, he's too close to that.
I invite you guys dating close to your He's such a nice man.
That's what my mom says. That's what my mom's always like, do you like all singers?
That's what my mom says about little.
I do really. I do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't need to check that.
I mean, I was doing that, but it's fine.
If you might answer, please. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go through the questions you guys have.
He doesn't have Instagram.
So let's start with number 2.
Oh, dang it. Wait, actually, not dang it.
So in number 2, we have to distribute this power into both of the terms. So it becomes 8 to the 1/3 and to the 3rd, but then that's to the 1/3 power. So we'll talk about that here in a second. Those are the questions.
Oh. We have to do.
So 8 to the 1/3 is the same thing as the cube root of 8. And that cube root of 8 is just 2. It's 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And then this one, I multiply the exponents. 3 times a 3rd is just 1. So it's n to the 1st. So just 2n is my answer there. So to distribute that power in. Okay. All right, let's go down to number 12 then, if we could. I believe that's next. I don't know. Or it's 23 and 24 next. Might be. I think they are. Yeah, they're on the bottom.
Yes.
Okay, so 23 and 24. On this case, both of these, the 3a are kind of together because both of them are underneath the root. So those two are together. Now, if you guys recall, in our little fractional exponents, the exponent goes on top of the radical. So the 4 goes on top of the 3. So we can write it this way because both the 3 and the a are both getting that, or you can write them separately. Either one is fine. So it just kind of stays as 1 piece. And then this next one is really similar. Remember, the square root is the same thing as a little 2 there. So this is 1 over, the 3k stays together, and so this will be 5 halves. So you can write it that way. Otherwise, if you're like bothered that that's in the denominator, which I don't know why you would be at this point, you can move it to the top. But I can't imagine you doing that, so I'm assuming you left it that way.
You assume.
So we'll go on to number 12. Please on the back side.
Yes.
All right. I didn't like any of these. Yeah, I was gonna say skip 14, but so did I. There's no 14 on here. Okay, so these. So I was like, whoa, you must have gotten one. No, never mind. Okay, so these are the ones that I like to divide up. So I'm going to break them up as 3 separate problems here. So the cube root of negative 16 does not work out to be a nice number. So, and just so you guys know, the negative could stay in or go out. It doesn't really matter. But 16 I need to break up. So since the 3 is there, that tells me I need groups of 3. So I do 4 times 4, 2 times 2. So I have 3 2's there. So that means the 2 can come out. So I'm going to put the 2 on the outside. But then there's a 2 left inside. Now the negative has to go somewhere. It can either come out or stay in. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to pull that out. So you're okay with the 2's where they're at? Again, the 2 comes out, 2's left inside. Now this one, a to the cube root of a to the third is really a to the 3 over 3. How many times does 3 go into 3?
Once.
Once. Is there a remainder?
No.
No. So the a just comes out one time. Then we have b, again the top over the root. How many times does 3 go into 8? 2 times, because 3 times 2 is 6. So I get to pull 2 b's out. And since it's 6, that means there's a remainder of 2. So there's 2 left inside. Questions there?
No.
Okay, we're going to do the same thing with these. Kind of all do the same thing. So now this is 4th root, so that tells me I'm looking for groups of 4. Can't think of anything else right now. So 64 and 2, 8 and 8. Okay, there's lots of 2's here. So I want groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can pull out a 2. But then it looks like there's 3 left in. So 2 times 2 times 2, so 8 is left in. So again, I pulled out the 1, 2, or the group of 4 2's that comes out, but what's left inside is 2 times 2 times 2, which is where the 8 is. Then I have x to the 7 over 4. 4 goes into 7 one time, with a remainder of 4 is how much short of 7? Remainder of what, guys? What's that? Okay, let's think about this. How much smaller is 4 than 7? That's what I'm asking. So 3. So 4 goes into 7 one time. That's where the 1 comes from. And it's short 3. It's a remainder of 3. Same thing with the y. So that is our final answer there. Next one has a big number, 6. So I might slide it down just so I have room to write above and below. Okay. So the 6th root tells me I'm looking for groups of 6 this time. So 448. Does 144 go into that? Yes. Oh no, shoot. 16 and 28. Thank you. 16 and 28 will go with what you say. So 4 and 4, and then 4 and 7, 2 and 2, 2 and 2, 2 and 2, and then 7. So I have a group of 6 2's. So that's going to come out. And then there's a 7 left inside. Then I have x to the 7 over 6 power. How many times does 6 go into 7?
1.
Once with a remainder of
1.
1, because it's 1 short. Same thing with the y. And you don't need the first powers, but you can write them if you have it. And then finally here, so the cube root of 56, cube root of x to the 5th, cube root of y So 56, I need groups of 3.
8 and 7.
So I have 3 2s. Take that out. And there's a 7 left inside. Now this one is x to the 5 over 3. 3 goes into 5 one time with a remainder of, how much short is it? 2. This one's kind of confusing. 3 goes into 1,
0.
0 times. So no y's can come out. So that y is stuck inside. Okay. Questions there? All right, so if you guys can get your homework out from last, not your homework, you can leave this out, because we will kind of do that as a little bit of practice, sorry. So if you guys can get your notes out from last time. Does anyone need them? Don't put your homework too far away. I can give it to you. Oh, that's me. So just look to the back side is where we're at.
I live Yeah, it's because I had a bottom moving. Here's a lemon.
Oh wait, now we're not.
See, I have losing. Yeah, but it's right here. Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay, so we're gonna finish up our notes here with these last few examples from last time, and then we'll kind of probably work through the rest of the homework a little bit. We will start on the next section of note, or it's still the same section, it just goes a little bit deeper, but I don't think we'll probably get all the way through it today. I do have a Kahoot for us as well, because Kinsey's not here, so that's what happens when we don't.
Can't beat us today.
I seriously, I feel like the last 4 times we've had a Kahoot, just been missing and change right now. Good. Okay, so we want to simplify here, and it just sometimes it means that you're going to do some changing things over, simplifying back and forth. Some of these are harder than others. They kind of get progressively maybe a little bit worse here. So the 1/2 power means what? What does that mean for us? Yeah, it's really the same thing as the square root. So you could change this right away to a square root if you wanted, or you could distribute the power in. Which do you guys want to do? Distribute? Yeah. Okay. I can't tell what you said. You're yawning.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 81 to the 1/2 power, that one I kind of probably can't help, but I want to switch that to square root of 81, because I know that's just 9. But the m to the 6th and then to the 1/2, we multiply those exponents, so that's going to be m to the 3rd. How about, yeah. Now, had you switched this over to the square root, the same thing would have happened. You kind of would have worked through it the same way. It's kind of just dependent on what you guys notice. We probably could have done that one last time. Now, this next one, number 15, requires that we do a little bit of work with fractions, which might not be your favorite thing. So, what should I be doing with these exponents? Power to a power, we multiply them. So I have to multiply 1/2 times 3/2. When I multiply those, careful, multiplying is not cross-multiplying. Multiply, you just multiply the tops and you multiply the bottoms. So what's it going to be? 3/4. And just to remind me that there's not really much we can do with this one, just remind me, what can we do? How can we rewrite that as a root? Rewrite that as a root. It didn't ask you to do that, but Brian? Very good. A to the 3rd power. I heard what you said, and then I started writing something different. With a 4th root. So just being comfortable with switching things back and forth. All right, so these next two are a little bit crazy.
I don't know where
You don't really decided. You haven't even gotten to know them.
They're tiny.
They're really
No,
little.
I'm a really tough one.
Okay. Try to make them bigger. That'll work for you guys, right?
No,
Yeah.
they're too long.
Okay. All right, so in this case, we want to simplify this as much as we can. We have fractions, we have a whole lot going on here. Do you notice anything right away that you can do? Just delete it, just go.
Single guys.
It went missing, I don't know what you're talking about.
You miss that you know the paper.
Mine got whited out.
Yeah. It's very white dog, white dog.
All right. I see something right away that I see a 3 on the top and the bottom.
Oh, snap. And a 3 white.
Well, the y though has different exponents, so I wouldn't probably touch that quite yet. Okay, true. Do you guys remember what to do with negative exponents? You swap them, you move them. So this is a negative exponent, so I'm going to move that to the top. So I'm going to rewrite what I have on top. So I have x to the 2/3, and then y to the 1/4 on top. Is that okay? Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay. On the bottom, I have 4, and then I have y to the 3/2 and y to the 1/2. Okay. Now, those y's on the bottom, if I put those together, how many y's would that be?
Well, no, 2 was.
Y to the second, yeah, because if you add the exponents, so you're adding 3/2 and a half. So 3 plus 1 is 4, 4/2, which is just 2. What's that? The other 3's we canceled. They're the same on the top and the bottom. So we have 4/2, which is just 2 squared, I mean. Slide this down a little bit. So now if you notice, I have y's on the top and the bottom. Where are there more y's? That should really be y squared on the bottom, but I didn't change that there. Where are there more y's? On the bottom. So this is going to require a little bit of, like, again, a little bit of fractions. So there's a 2 on the bottom, so this is y squared on the bottom. Can I write it up here maybe? So since there's more on the bottom, I'm going to subtract them, but it's going to end up on the bottom. So I'm going to take 2 and I'm going to subtract 1/4 from it. And I really don't want a mixed number. So I actually might go back. I probably should have just left it the way it was. I realize now. I want to subtract these two. So I'm going to subtract 4/2 minus 1/4. How do I subtract those? Guys remember what we need in order to subtract fractions? Calculator, that's what you need.
Yeah, the same.
You need the same denominator. So what can I make 4/2 into? 8/4. So 8/4 minus 1/4 is going to be 7/4. Where is that going to show up in my fraction? On the bottom, because there was more y's on the bottom. It's a lot.
Yeah, you're really like being Mackenzie today.
Yeah, Kinsey. Oh, see that, Kinsey? They do like you.
Listening to this. Punching her computer.
Taking her down in the Kahoot. Okay. All right, how about this next one? Do you want to combine things inside first or distribute the 2 first? What is it? You really? Okay, so distribute how? How many places do I have to distribute it?
4.
4 places. So I multiply the exponents. -1 times 2 is a -2. 1/3 times 2 is just 2/3. -8/3. Okay. I would maybe move negative exponents now. Yep. You agree?
Yep.
All right. Now I need to combine these exponents. But again, this is just a rule of a fraction rule. So if I'm doing 2/3 and I'm adding 4/1, again, we need that common denominator. So what does 4/1 become? 12/3. So that's going to be 14/3. The bottom, I have 2/1 plus 8/3. The bottom's this is gonna be 6/3. So also,
Wait,
yeah,
I thought it was
seems weird. That's it. Okay, why don't you guys take a minute to look at those last 4 questions on your homework. So give you guys a little bit of time to do that. Last 4 questions on the homework from today. Ethan, do you need a homework sheet? I don't know if you have those. That's 4. I like a blank one. So if you guys can go to the last 4 on the homework.
You leave that on the board? Stop.
You want me to put it back up on the board or?
No, leave that up.
Okay, sure.
Thanks.
No.
Stop. Shoot, I did that. This is long enough.
You know your fraction work is coming in. Right here.
Oh, the calculator is doing.
I don't know if this is funny or not, but I didn't really know how much other students hated fractions until I became a teacher. Like my first year teaching, like I'm like, why do these kids hate fractions so much? So I just always like fractions, what that is meaning, you know, after that. So it never occurred to me that Students don't like fractions.
We're not very
Yes.
I think mom and me.
Look at that Maddie's paper.
Look at I only did one question.
Look like Layla.
That ice out?
Yeah.
You get,
She said you don't even know who that is.
17, you get 19 minutes to make it through.
In second grade, I decided to wait till my school pictures because I thought if I had a regular ponytail, I have no hair. That's why I decided to wait.
How was that for you?
It was second grade. I had a very long streak of very awkward years.
Me too.
I might still be in that right now, but you know who knows.
Wow.
One of my school pictures, I had my hair was like this, I didn't really. This looked like it's
The best hair I've had in school pictures was seventh grade. Still have not had good hair.
Seventh grade was a rough time. I was really honest in seventh grade. I should find my seventh grade picture. That was pretty much a low point. My teeth were bigger than they'd ever been. I don't know how my teeth, I brought into my teeth a little bit, but they're huge. The middle school years were rough.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
He's like, do you want to go back to first grade?
Yeah.
Mr. Olson, I was like, no. Fourth grade's not it. See, she overcame her. I remember one time me and Maddie were in a party, and our birthday party was like the next week. And I thought I was gonna get uninvited.
Oh my god, I just insult.
you're no longer invited to talk.
I love it, I didn't want like my friends that I never got. In fourth grade, I remember.
I was young.
We were my parents. And then we almost threw out my campus. And stuff like that. I thought you were too. I can't do and then
Okay, so guys, to save us a little bit on time, we're gonna get going here on these. So, number 17, what you want to do first? Multiply all those numbers together. So 2 times 4 times 4 is going to give us
what time is it? 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 8 or 4 is what?
32.
32?
I'm like, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I don't think so. Okay. Now, do you notice something about the M's that's going to be super helpful?
They're cancel out.
Yeah, 2 of them cancel out. Do you see M to the second? Those 2 M's go away because 2 minus 2 is just 0. So I don't really need to even deal with those. Now, if you spent a lot of work getting those all together, sorry.
Okay, I didn't want you to get mad.
Wait, what?
I
Oh, so when you move those down, the 4 doesn't need to move because it doesn't have a negative exponent. I mean, I'm not making up new rules here, but you could. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So number 18, I would look at the 2 over 4 first. 2 over 4 would be half. Okay. Then that negative exponent, I'm going to move that one down. And then I have to add those exponents. Yikes. Adding those exponents, we need a common denominator. What's it going to be?
12.
12. So this is going to be 21 over 12, right? Because you multiply both by 3. It's going to be 16 over 12. So 21 and 16 is gonna be 37 or 12.
There's the math teacher.
Okay, I don't think the rest of those are gonna go good. The rest of these are
I
not gonna
think
go well.
20, I might have gotten right.
Oh, me too.
But if not,
All right,
that is gonna be embarrassing.
19, do you see anything that cancels?
3.
Threes. You can cancel one of the threes with one of the threes. Okay, what do you guys want to do next? Multiply what? Well, you could. Do you guys see that x's can go together on the top? X to the negative 1/2 times x to the positive 1/2. Those just cancel.
So you keep the x's or no?
No, the x's because it's x to the 0 power. That just goes away.
Oh, sweet.
So there's just a 3 on top. What about those y's?
Negative.
They do not cancel. I would probably flip them, right? Because they're both negative. So 7/4 on top, 1/3 on the bottom. Now, where are there more? Top, because 7/4 is bigger than 1/3, in most places.
Because I put 7/4 back on the bottom.
That would do it. We need a common denominator though, and we're gonna subtract them. So the common denominator again is gonna be 12.
Yep.
So this is gonna be 21/12 on top,
Yes.
minus,
6.
it's going to be 12, so multiply by 4. 4/12. So 17/12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And that's gonna be on top. So you can put it over 1 if you wanted to, or you don't need to at all.
Okay, I accidentally said 6 like randomly, but then I realized the 7 minus 1 could be 6.
What?
Oh, I see.
But I just said it random.
Okay. All right, and then number 20. You want to distribute first?
Yeah.
You always seem to want to.
I got it right.
Okay, distribute.
And 2. And -4. And 5, 9. 5, 9.
You multiply, so it's gonna be 10/3.
5, 9.
5, 9. What? Okay. These two get to go together, or I can move it. So that's gonna be m to the -2. And then I don't like that negative exponent, so I'm just gonna move it to the bottom. What did I just do?
Oh, you just did an extra step, otherwise I would have had it.
Oh, that's still okay. Not wrong.
Except I had.
Except if you had it wrong.
So is that are we done now?
No, we're gonna do it for foods.
Yeah, that's a word.
So we actually use both.
Why do we not?
We don't have homework?
I
Like an hour still, you
I thought we
guys.
just did our homework.
No, we'll do that together, but we can just get that finished.
We do not have it now.
This is mine.
We have 15 minutes.
She is saying it, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do a quick move.
She's. I come home over. I said no more.
They can't run home.
They said no. If I came over.
What?
And that was that.
What did you say?
Yeah, that was my day better.
I'll do anything, like, you
No, they-
all that.
Hey, what, you didn't get here to ride home or not?
Yeah.
You ride home.
No, I have to be right home.
You get to ride home?
Yeah, I am.
How much do you pay?
How much did I pay?
Yeah.
I paid.
I charge $20
Here, I'll remember mine.
No, right? Or the can.
What happened here?
Yeah, but she'll like actually say yes and I'll feel bad.
Oh, that's you.
Are you leaving?
No, follow.
You look at it. Is that fine? What would I say? Two. No, too slow. Nothing.
I got the 40.
Okay. You go. Okay.
Full on.
I just put it.
Let's be quick. Something you can do.
You grab me one?
What?
You grab me one?
Oh, I see something.
Two drive.
Yeah, you know, I don't know.
Grab me one. Is that the document? Oh my God, that's my phone. That's why I know that I've been walking around with the golf club and I was
Okay, everybody that's in the game's right. Is it X out?
We don't want that.
It's bad.
Alright, are we all in?
Oh, for sure. Yes, I will flex that.
I'm probably gonna get the first five.
Hey, it's done that for a long time. What is this?
Have you seen it on this? Can you guys read that?
Yeah, I just wanted
I
to,
can move up.
I just wanted to
And
add.
your eyesight, you're gonna move up further, closer to the front.
I got
Breathing noises. I'm scared, so it would be. If she breathes, it's noises.
So just remembering the root is the number that goes on the bottom of the fraction.
Golden cookies.
I just like Brian played that.
Oh, shoot, that was a difficult one. I got one.
Oh no!
I got it.
It's greedy.
I clicked the wrong one.
I'm behind right.
So two of them work because you could use the parentheses or you could distribute that in. Gosh darn it.
Pretty much.
There were two of these.
Fireman Jack. Thanksgiving.
Lifeline.
Lifeline.
Look at the calendar.
We're on.
Bye bye, Brian. Brian.
What?
Oh yikes. Need to write those? Sorry. It's really hard I
Just
tried.
tell us the answer.
Okay.
Just make a good guess that everybody's in the same boat. Let me see if I can. It's like an eye chart. You fail.
Wow,
Last.
that's offensive. I always fail.
Oh.
I guess.
Sorry. Apparently I need to switch this up, sorry. This must have been from when I had a better board.
Oh, when you had better learners, is that what you
So
say?
my board was like more clear. I don't know if it helps, but.
Shoot, I got.
Maybe we put that in the same part. Yeah.
How many points you got?
How many points I got? 2,436.
Oh, wait.
That's like
Does that help? So just having that flipped, I'll try to write them in there. I'll just try to stay out of your way a little bit.
I flipped it.
Dude,
So I want you to simplify this as much as you can. So simplifying, this should be the square root of 125 x to the third. Gives you a minute and a half.
I got genius machine.
Pure genius.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get this right. I think I got it.
You know that. No one better.
I will.
Ahead. You should tell people that on the wall.
Oh,
You should like, I'm the most. I bet you the most.
Yeah, okay. Dang it.
all right, so this one, you guys, you can break up the 25 as 25 times 5 and then 5 times 5. So I get to pull out the 5. And then it's x to the 3 halves. 2 goes in the 3 one time, so 1x pulls out, but 1 is left in.
Come on. How many golden rings in my tree?
Lifeline,
This is from the song.
lifeline.
Five
Golden rings. Three.
No, 4.
3.
4.
I have no golden rings. Mine's platinum.
I did a lot of right now.
4 colors, 3 friends. I used to have the whole song.
Oh, okay. Simplify. No, there's no lifeline in this.
Right, you're just silly.
Like, these are more readable, aren't they? No?
No, it's 10 pictures every week. No, it's 10 words a week. 10 words a
Good.
Noise. 6 pieces of wood. 5
Stop lying.
4 colors.
Go,
3 French hens. 2 turtle doves. Arch. So what
This
is
is not
11?
making sense.
12 drummers drumming.
9 is not. So 9 is easy.
Yes. 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the dollar sound?
12 drummers drumming. 12 drummers drumming, 10, nobody is doing singing.
Okay, guys, so this one, you have to break up the square root or the cube root of 32, and you have to look for groups of 3. So, I think, so when you break up 32, it's 16 times 2, 4 times 4. So we have a group of 3 2s, but then there's 2 left behind, so that's why there's a 4 in here. And then the x to the 7/3, 3 goes into 7 twice. So 2 come out with 1 left in. 3/3 comes out once. And then finally z, 4/3 comes out once and 1's left behind.
Bro, we only got all Ryan's up there. Ryan, let's go.
Caitlin, Lex, and Noah, that's like cousins.
Wow. Oh, I see.
Our Chihuahua. Laura, what did you get?
I got it wrong.
Well, that gives me no hope. Just gonna have to guess. You're gonna run out of time.
Okay, guys, so on this one, we multiply 2 times 4 and we get 8. Square root of 7 times the square root of 7 is going to be the square root of 49, which is just 7. Square root of 49 is 7, so 8 times 7 gives us 56.
Okay, the only way.
Oh, sorry.
Santa.
I'm pretty sure that was like.
You don't
Instead of putting nice to, they go to sleep.
I do. Okay, right.
I can guess that, so.
Let's go.
I got.
Let's go. Second place.
Top 3 or top 5, sorry, first of all. Top 5. Let me see your. I'm not top 5.
I didn't
Come on.
What about participation?
Okay, participation over. Sorry, okay. Participation award in the bucket.
I got it.
Hey guys, we're not gonna get much of the way through the notes. We're gonna get a little jump on them. The next section here. It's the same section, it's just more of the same.
Do you know you have the same shirt?
You know.
Ready? What? So we'll start on this next section of notes. We will not get super far on them already, so,
I get it.
what?
I didn't realize you didn't pass on.
I actually, the other day, I started teaching and then like finding someone in class was like, you didn't give us no. Like they were all just like sitting there waiting for like, I'm like, how long were you all gonna wait until?
Freshman?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was freshman and sophomore. Mike and Deb will find this school out. Shocker.
I thought you would have been like,
He was like, this is fine. You can pass the other one back to Ethan back there.
Alright.
Yeah, if you want,
I guess.
in the bucket. Well,
and a bucket and
Nope.
that's going to it's on.
all right. So if you guys want to look at the warm-up question, again, we'll probably finish these notes on Monday. And the homework we're going to assign is just going to be due Monday, and it's going to be part of this. So, you guys want to look at the warm-up?
Yeah, like 2 months ago. Yeah, look at it.
Okay, the warm-up should be doable, hopefully.
Fine. Sliders.
Mom, finally let me get Facebook. Welcome, world.
What?
No. Sam got Facebook and then took his iOS. I'm gonna be there. The final is on the other side of Sam.
Yeah, Sam, we had to do
Yeah, we're really laughing guys and then 7th grade Sam's over
and then you go to the office, I told Sam, this one's weird.
Yes.
And then Sam was closing mine. And then he stayed here.
And next question. Well, today when I had that thing on my thumb that Carly wrapped up, he's like, actually, we opened my eyes. I mean, you so nice. For once, anyway.
Okay, so guys, in number 1, what did you guys do first? Distribute, of course you did. Distribute. I don't know what else I do in this one. So distribute. So 27 to the 1/3.
9.
X to the 4th, because it's 12 over 3, which would be 4. So if you need me to write that. And then y to the 3 over 3.
I meant 9.
It's not 9. Stop saying that. So 12 over 3. Abby has spent some time together today, and it's not. I feel like it's not been good for her. Alright. She was just, I felt like I was gonna have to take a pencil and like write for her. Like she was like so done. Alright, so the cube root of 27 is 3.
This is me laughing at me messing up all these questionnaires.
I was like, okay, what's next? Yeah. So the 4th root, so that tells me I should look for groups of 4. So 405, how'd you break that one up?
9 and 45.
9 and 45.
See, Tara already.
I know, she's good at those,
She knows what she's doing.
Okay, thank goodness for Tara. Okay, so, what are we thankful for? All right, so, yep, there's 4 3s, so I can pull the 3 out. And then there's a 5 left inside. Okay. Then I have x to the 5/4 power. How many times is 4 going to 5?
Once.
1, so the remainder of
1.
1. Very good.
Yeah.
Y to the 10/4
Twice.
goes in twice.
With the 2 remainder.
Very good.
I'm catching a pattern.
That's a pattern. Good work.
I know.
Okay, so now what they want us to simplify is multiple radicals multiplied together. So just trying to show you guys that you can take them apart, you can also put them back together. So funny. Stop being happy. No happiness here. Okay. So right now these 2 different square roots, I'd rather, since they're both square roots, I'm going to put them together. So 10 times 40 is going to be 400. X, what power I'm going to have?
3.
The third. And y to what power?
What do you say?
It's 1 and 3 together. Would be 4.
Somebody said glitch.
Alright. Now remember, this is a square root. So the square root of 400,
Roughly like.
20 and 40.
I would maybe just try it in your calculator. Square root of 400 is just 20.
Oh.
It's exactly 20. You don't have to break things up if it's a perfect square. Now, if you wanted to, you could. You just have a whole bunch of
I didn't realize it.
numbers. Yeah, I didn't realize. There'd be a whole bunch to choose.
What?
All right. Then we have x to the 3 halves and y to the 4 halves. So we have 20 on the outside. Inside my square root, I'm going to simplify the x 3 halves. So that, what do I make that? 2 goes into 3 once. And then what's left inside? 1, just a single x, x to the first. 2 goes into 4 twice. Is there a remainder? No. That's it. That was a good one. All right, and then next one, why don't you guys take a minute to try this one? So this one's a 4th root. We're going to put them together first. See if you guys can simplify. And then I'm going to alter our homework.
Yes.
Where did Fireman Jack come
This is profession.
from? A video, not just a photo.
No. At lunch, Miss Woolers was walking and dismissed tables. So I started going, and then she released us first. Because I did the Woolers call. I was like,
Also, she just.
I have a Google Meet tomorrow at 9:30.
So when you guys combine them, is that what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully.
Yeah, just go look.
All right. Now, 4th root of 32, we're looking for groups of 4.
8 and 4.
8 and 4.
4, 4. 2, 3, 2, 3.
So again, I want groups of 2, or groups of 4, sorry. So I have 4 2s, so the 1 2 is gonna come out, and there's gonna be 1 left inside. 8 to the 5/4. 4 goes into 5 once with a remainder of 1. C, 1, the remainder of 1.
Oh, geez.
Okay, so for our homework, we're gonna stop there.
Whoa.
We're actually not gonna do the homework that's listed there at all. We'll save that for later. So what I'll have you guys do is actually go to the back of, oh, now I realize this isn't gonna be online, shoot. Maybe I'll change my mind. Hang on.
It's fine.
Well, no, I have to upload the photo.
See, Kinsey, it's all for you.
Okay, so 2, I think I am gonna upload it. So it's gonna be page 887. It's in the back of the book, section 5-6. We're gonna do 1 through 5 all, just 5 questions. I'm afraid it'll be too much skipping around otherwise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll upload that new page.